You are the reason why you're not successful. You are the reason why you're not where you want to be. Hello, my fellow awakening souls. I hope we all have been well despite the state of the world. So today I just wanted to get into some mindset shifts that we all can make to lead a more positive life. These are some things that I've been implementing more consistently lately for the past year. And I honestly feel like I have been seeing results in my being and in my life physically. So without further ado, let's jump straight right in. Comparing. A lot of us look at successful people and where they are, and then we compare ourselves based on where we are now if we are not where they are because they have what we want, whether it's adventure, whether it's love, whether it's family, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, whatever it is that they have that you wish you have or that you desire. You look at that person, or we look at successful people, and we don't think about the journey it took them to get there. Some of us are too quick to judge and give our own 2 cents and opinions on how they got there, even though we don't know them personally. We're spending so much time putting more energy into comparing ourselves to them, or being in a state of jealousy, a lack mindset, a low vibrational way of being, that we're not putting enough loving energy into ourselves. And thus our lives are a representation of that. If you are in a state where you're comparing yourself to someone that is successful, if you're having thoughts along the lines of thinking it's taking you too long, they got there quickly, you wish you had what they had, or you're even feeling even just a hint of jealousy, you have to pull yourself out of that way of thinking and into a better way of being. You cannot compare yourself to a successful person, especially if you don't know them personally. You cannot make judgments on how they got the things that you want. You don't know what struggles, what trials, what hardships they had to go through to get there. Most of the time, when we are in a state of comparing ourselves, it's mostly when we're scrolling on social media, looking at the end results of other people's journey. And what has helped me into putting more energy into myself instead of putting more energy into other people was started scrolling less and really taking the time to self-analyze. What do I need to do in order to get to where I'm trying to get? How can I be like this person that I admire? I don't want to be them, but they're living the life that I desire. So in my own way, what things can I improve? What can I do to attain that life? And then focus more on the art of doing those things and actually enjoying doing them, even on days when I really don't want to, because I know it'll pay off. I do it anyway. Staying disciplined and doing those things instead of endlessly scrolling on social media. I still get on here and there, but I'm not on there as much as I used to. And normally if I'm on there, I'm looking for a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration, and something to spark my own creativity. So that is my advice to you. If you find yourself scrolling a lot, start to take a step back. A lot of us get so caught up in the drama, which is why our world is the way it is today. A lot going on, a lot of problems that could be solved but aren't being solved because we aren't putting our energy back into cultivating a better version of ourselves so that we can cultivate a better society for ourselves. We're too busy worrying about Diddy, Trump, and God knows what else. But honestly, truly, in my own personal opinion, none of those things matter. What happens to Diddy, what happens to Trump, what happens to all of these different things won't make me a better person. It won't change my life for the better. Yes, I know we should be paying attention to certain things that's going on around the world, but it's a certain level that we should be doing it. We should be able to analyze certain things that are important, that do matter, and that do make a difference in our lives, while also being able to make sure we're spending a certain amount of time putting that energy into ourselves and not celebrity drama or gossip or other things that don't really pertain to us or make a positive change. And that's something that a lot of people don't want to hear. A lot of people don't want to hear that they shouldn't be consuming distractions, because that's what they're good for, to distract us from our own problems. But you will never overcome the things that you're experiencing unless you deal with your problems. I believe this society is pushing a fast food culture. And what I mean by that is we want everything fast. We want our food cooked fast. We want our health to improve fast. We want our bodies to look good fast. We want everything so quickly. And that is, in my opinion, and you may disagree, not what life is about. I've been reading the Hermetica lately, and the Kabbalion, and a few other spiritual books, and even this one book that I'm reading, and it's called The Creative Act by Rick Owens or something like that. I'll tag it below. But what I'm learning in life is that life isn't about receiving things fast. It's about the art of doing, enjoying the work, enjoying the journey that it will take you to get to where you want to be. Not so focused on the end result. Yes, you have the end result in mind. You know where you want to end up. You know what it is that you're trying to manifest in this life. But you also appreciate the journey to get there. You appreciate the struggles, the challenges, the problems that you got to solve. And even in that case, I'm changing that word. Instead of it being an unsolvable problem, I'm changing it into a challenge. And I'll discuss that in a minute. But my point is, stop expecting fast results when you want to manifest great things. Enjoy the art of doing. Truly enjoy it. Enjoy the journey to get there. Enjoy every moment that you are breathing and you're capable of putting in the effort to cultivate a life that you want to live, because it is possible. You have to go through certain things, certain situations, certain experiences in order to evolve as a being, in order to level up in life. You can't expect to go from 0 to 100 in a day, in a week, in a month. Yes, sometimes miracles happen, wonderful things happen overnight. Yes, but it's rare. It doesn't happen a lot. And depending on what it is that you're trying to do in life, depending on what it is that you're trying to manifest in your life, it's likely that you will have to experience challenges and overcome those challenges so that you can become a better person than when you first started. And what really taught me this, honestly, is this anime that I'm currently watching, which I think is called Bottom Tier Character Tomazaki. And basically, to sum it all up, Tomazaki is this lame kid in school, but in the game, he's a winner. He's the #1 player in the world, I think, at this game, and he loves this game. He calls this his God tier game. And he ends up meeting somebody that he plays in the game in person, and she turns out to go to the same school as him, and she's popular. Basically, she expected this popular person too. Like, you're good at the game, you're popular, you persevere through all these things. I expect you to be better than what I'm seeing now. And she's disappointed. Ultimately, to sum it all up so I don't drag it on, she motivates him to play life like a game. She calls life the God tier game because of all the challenges and different things you go through in life to become a better character or person. So she challenges him to do this, and she says she's going to help him change who he is and become basically this better version of himself, which he doesn't think is possible yet, but he takes up the challenge. Every episode or every couple of episodes, he tries to overcome those challenges. And if you notice, over time, you begin to notice his evolvement, his change, his growth, his progress. And so this was the lesson I decided to take. Take life up as a game, as a challenge. Things that you go through, look at it as challenges. You know that there is something better lying behind that door. So you will not give in. You will not give up. Each time you fail, you learn something new with your failure, and take that lesson that you learned in your failure with you to challenge it again and overcome the challenge. Stop looking at failure as failure and look at it as a lesson. Look at it as growth. It's aiding and growing you in your way of being, in your way of thinking, which ultimately helps you overcome the challenges that life presents you with. And that is something that I have been trying to take with me, because there are certain things that I've been trying to do for the past year, 2 years it's been going on now. And I've been getting pushback. It's been days where I've cried and been overwhelmed. But one thing that will not change is my determination to get to where I want to get. I will not let nobody, no thing deter me from my goals, whether it's in this life or the next. It is the level of determination that you have within you that will also aid you in manifesting the life that you desire. You're not going to get to where you want to get, especially if it is something that is on a higher scale than the person you are now. You can't expect wealth and you don't even have money management skills with the money you have now. You can't expect peace when you are not a peaceful person yourself. You can't expect more love when you aren't giving love out to those around you. Everything begins and ends with you. Everything begins and ends with what you are doing, what you are thinking, the energy you are putting back into yourself to cultivate a better version of yourself. Everything begins and ends with your determination, your discipline. All of these things play a role in your ability to live a more positive life. Success is whatever you define it. But whatever you define as success, you're not going to get that thing if you haven't adjusted the way that you think. Life is, to me, depending on what it is that you're trying to do in your life, 80% mind, 20% physical. Everything begins and ends with the way you think. If you are quick to give up, it's your mind. If you are disciplined, it's your mind. If you are determined, it's because you're determined in your mind. And that determination manifests into the physical labor that you put in. And that physical labor ultimately manifests into something wonderful that you've created and that the Creator has aided you in creating. I would say the next would be appreciation. Most of us don't give appreciation to the Creator or the all source for a lot of the things or everything that we have in our life. A lot of us don't say thank you enough throughout our day. A lot of us aren't in a state of gratitude as often as we should be. We get so caught up in our own thoughts and the things that are physically taking place around us that we can physically see that we forget that there are so many things to be grateful for. The fact that you're even breathing right now, the fact that you're even watching this video, you have something to watch this video on. The fact that you have a mind to use, the fact that you have a healthy body, the fact that you have limbs that move, a mind that thinks, the fact that you have the ability to manifest the life that you desire, the roof over your head, the food that you have, the peace that you have that you mistake as boredom. All of these things is something to be grateful for. All of these things is something to be thankful for. Yes, there is always something that we will desire in life. Yes, there's always something we would want more of. But you have to remember to be grateful for what you already have. Don't forget to say thank you for those things. When you first wake up in the morning, most of us forget to say thank you for allowing me to see another day. When you are scrolling on social media and you're looking at someone that has a nice car, big house, a loving family, romance, or whatever it is that you desire that you do not have, you compare yourself and look at the things that you lack instead of looking around you and realizing that you have something to be grateful for. You will not be rewarded with more things, with more experiences if you are already not grateful for the things that you do have and the experiences that you have had, good or bad. Some of us are even in a state where we are not being accountable for our actions. We are blaming outside sources. We're blaming the world for all of these things that are happening in our lives, and our lack of accountability is yet another reason why we aren't living the life that we desire. We aren't manifesting the things in our life that we desire. So when you are in a higher vibrational state of mind, you're making high vibrational choices, and your life is a representation of those better choices. No matter what mistakes you've made in your life, no matter what things you may have done in your past, if you are wanting to move forward, if you are wanting to grow, if you are wanting to manifest and create a better life, then you are capable of those things. And that is something you can do. It's just about what kind of work are you willing to put in to become a better person, to improve your way of being, which ultimately, when we improve ourselves, we improve the world. We help improve each other. Don't allow your past to hold you back from the person that you want to be. Don't allow your current situation hold you back from the things that you want to manifest or the life that you want to manifest. No matter where you are currently in your life, no matter what experiences you are currently having or you have had, you are always capable of moving forward and becoming a better version of yourself. Anything in this life is impossible so long as you believe it is impossible for you. If you feel like you will never be wealthy because you're too broke now, you're too focused on where you are currently that you're not even realizing that there's endless possibilities out there for you to manifest wealth. But because you are stuck in a lack mentality, because you're looking at your current situation, you're not experiencing abundance. You're not experiencing wealth because you don't believe that you can attain that, because you aren't putting in the work to attain it. You have to change your way of thinking. How can you manifest wealth and abundance when you think you don't deserve it, or when you think it's not possible, or when you're too busy focusing on what you currently have in your bank account to even perceive or believe that wealth is possible for you? How can you say you want more romance or love in your life when you aren't even putting yourself out there, when you aren't even in love with yourself? Most of the time, most of us are looking for love or romance in another person when we haven't even put enough energy into loving ourselves first. Once you have self-love, once you have self-respect, once you improve yourself as a person and the way that you think about yourself, then love will come to you. All things come to you in due time when you are ready for them. Consistency. That is the name of the game. A lot of us are not consistent in doing what we say we're going to do. We aren't consistent in being the person that we say we're going to be. We aren't consistent in thinking in the ways that we say we are going to think. I personally didn't realize how inconsistent I was until I started being consistent and actually seeing improvement with my financials, with my health. Really, those are the two major things that are important to me that I was not being consistent in. And even in my spiritual practices, like, if I'm not going to lie to you guys, it wasn't until David got on my ass about the gym. I was lying to myself, which most of us, we do. We don't want to be honest with ourselves. And sometimes we aren't even honest with our family or friends. We want to sound cool. We want to sound like we're actually doing the things we said we're going to do. But in all actuality, when we reflect, we're not being consistent in those areas. So for me, it was the gym. I've been working out for 3 years now, wasn't seeing progress, but that's because I was flaky and I was going in without a plan and I wasn't taking it as seriously as I wanted it. I wanted my body to look a certain way, but I wasn't putting in the work to mirror that. And it wasn't until I started hitting the gym 5 days a week. I have a workout plan, even down to getting workout clothes, because that motivates me to look good and to actually want to work out. Showing up for myself, making sure I'm there, whether it's in the morning, late at night, or in the afternoon, making sure I hit the gym 5 days a week, whether it's a weekday or a weekend, and going in with a plan and seeing it through, even sometimes challenging myself with the weight. How can you expect to improve your body naturally if you aren't even being consistent with your workouts, if you aren't taking what you're eating seriously, if you aren't minding what you eat, if you aren't even showing up to the gym with a plan? Small things like that make an improvement when you're trying to be consistent and when you're trying to change who you are, whether it's your diet, your wardrobe, your ways of being, the way you think, whatever it is that you want to change or you want to, better yet, improve, then you have to take baby steps. That is ultimately how you be consistent. Start off small. Start off with a small goal and try to remain consistent with hitting that goal. And even if you miss, even if you fail, get up again, do it again, do it again, do it again, because you will hit your mark. You will end up being consistent. The more you aim at being consistent, the more you get up and try again. A lot of us, especially around New Year's time, we set all these New Year's resolutions about how we're going to hit the gym or how we're going to do a fast. And what most of us do, I'm going to do a fast for 30 days when you've never fasted in your life. That's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not realistic. If you've never fasted in your life, how can you expect to fast for 30 days? It's not likely. Start small. I'm going to do a 72-hour fast. Let's see if I can make it 72 hours. Okay, boom. I made it 72 hours. Let's go for 7 days. Ooh, I made 7 days. Let's go for 2 weeks. Let's go for 3 weeks. And you up it like that. And then you be consistent with that. And even if you fail your fast, get up and try again. It took me 3 times to complete a 72-hour fast. 4 times to complete a week fast. Every time I failed and slipped up and ate a salad or vegetables or whatever, because most of my fasts were fruit fast, I got up and tried again. Start small with your goals. Start small with what it is that you want to do, and then be consistent. And once it becomes a habit, once it becomes a part of who you are, once you are comfortable, then you get uncomfortable again. That is where your growth comes from. If you stick to the mindsets that I gave you guys and you're consistent in those thoughts, ultimately your life will be a reflection of that. So for me personally, I'd say remaining consistent in your ways of thinking. And once your consistency pays off, it's time to get uncomfortable again and get consistent at something else. Hit a new goal, set a new target. The more comfortable you become with being uncomfortable, the more you grow. Because when you put yourself in positive, uncomfortable situations, and then you become comfortable in those situations, you can now aim for the next goal. And you keep beating the levels, you keep overcoming the challenges. Ultimately, you will be a physical representation of that. There is a lot of things happening right now around the world, and it is overwhelming. And if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it is scary. But this might sound funny, but I watched Dune, right? And something that the author of Dune wrote for the character Jessica is true. Fear is the mind killer. When you allow fear to creep in, it does bring total obliteration. It kills your spirit. It kills your motivation. Fear kills your discipline, your determination, your ambition. We have to learn to overcome our fear and to still persevere through. If we continue perpetuating this cycle of hate, of negativity, that is what we will experience more of on this planet. We have to overcome, beat the odds, overcome our fear, and let it to pass over us and through us, and ultimately remaining positive no matter what a situation may look like or feel like. Whether we're experiencing something we consider bad, still remain positive, still remain hopeful, still do the positive things that aid in us having a positive state of mind. Realizing that if we come together and we think positive, then positivity is what we will create for our world. But so many of us are so stuck on the physical and what's physically going on, we're not putting in the work spiritually to remain positive and in a high vibrational state of mind. And thus, all we're doing is perpetuating the cycle of hate, hating each other, being negative, being mean, and being in a state of fear or sadness or depression. And that is not nothing that we want to experience. So why perpetuate that cycle? Why keep that type of low vibrational way of thinking going? Why keep feeding it when we are capable of so much more? We are able to change our way of thinking and collectively come together to physically show that in our outer world. So we have to learn to do mindful practices on your journey to becoming the better version of yourself and manifesting the life that you desire. I would say find things that help you stay grounded, whether it's taking a moment or multiple moments throughout the day to meditate, whether it's breath work, whether it's drums or music, journaling, getting outside, exercising, whatever mindful practice that helps you clear your mind, center yourself. So take a moment and ground yourself. A new practice that I've been implementing in my life is painting. And now I'm not a painter, but I enjoy the art of doing it. It's peaceful, it's calming. And will I become better at it the more I do it? Maybe, we'll see. But I'm enjoying the work. I'm enjoying doing it. It helps me collect my thoughts, or sometimes just helps me focus so intently on what I'm doing, being so present that I have no time to think about impending doom and gloom and all this other stuff that's going on. Keep making your moves. Keep doing what you do. Keep putting in the work. Keep putting in the time into yourself. Be aware of what's going on. Try your best to prepare yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, but don't allow the fear to consume you and allow you to give up. But ultimately, you guys, that's what I have for you today. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and see you guys for the next video.